Jock, back in the building
with the world's most famous brass band.
You know what it is, baby. The Brasstactics.
You ready to do this?
I'm ready. You ready?
Let's tribute this groove.
We go by the name of jingnjoc.
Can we kick it?
That's the Brasstactics, live on Behind the Sound, baby.
I'm biggity bringing it straight from the sickety sewer. Remember that? Tim's and baggy pants, and of course I'm rocking an X hat. The boom bap, the jazz had to be fresh to get daps. Tribute the groove with the Brasstactics. To me, the golden age is 93. The dopest poets flowing over the beats with potent rhyming schemes. And behind the scenes, Preem and Pete rock. Razel was Dougie fresh and business updated beatbox. Time to work your Nikes, Adidas, and Reeboks. So get up on your feet and dance till your knees pop. You need a classy band with some sweet talk? Gotta be Brasstactics with jingnjoc.
And if you need to feel at ease till the beat drop, easy peasy. That's literally my sweet spot. In 93, we had to creep to the weed spot. Increase the heat while we inhale the treetops. The keys hard up on the track and make the fiends bob. Wish I was a little bit taller, pump my Reeboks. My cross colors was double X with lost buttons. We lash move with chip fool and pause nothing. So hard hitting the bars, bitten to start Britons. Big dogs smitten for chickens and small kittens. You get me? You picking up what we putting down? Brasstactics, jingnjoc, tribute the groove.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Yeah, that what OPP. Yeah, you know me. Lash move. Yeah, we don't got nothing to prove, so can I kick it? Yes, you can. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Yeah, that what OPP. Yeah, you know me. Lash move. No, we don't got nothing to prove, so can I kick it? Yes, you can.
Come to see us for the flow or the style. Either way, we make the show worth your while. We're the most versatile brass band you've seen in your life. The musical
Swiss Army knife.
Yo, we got them horns, beats. It's all acoustic. Yeah, we run heat like the rub and the two sticks. You can't spring beef like the ovens at Ruth Chris, but they don't come with heat. They just come with excuses. We got that fire, y'all can do what you wanna. It's tribute to the groove and we doing it proper. So if your sweet dreams got you bumping the thrift shop, then pass me up some peace so we can all bust some brass funk. The Brasstactics ain't nothing to mess with. The Brasstactics ain't nothing to mess with. The Brasstactics ain't nothing to mess with. Just some funky kids hitting only the best hits.
The Brasstactics ain't nothing to mess with. The Brasstactics ain't nothing to mess with. Brasstactics ain't nothing to mess with.
Just some funky kids hitting only the best horns.
Brasstactics, jingnjoc, tribute the groove, baby. That's how we do it, baby. Yeah, behind the sound, baby. Behind the sound, baby. The baddest brass band to ever do it. Let's go. My God, it feels good, don't it?
Brasstactics, jingnjoc.
Back in the booth, baby.
Behind the sound.
Well, I guess that's how we do it.
Yeah.
One and done.
One take.
One and done. Welcome to this episode of Behind the Sound. I cannot tell you how fucking pumped I... See? Swearing. No, we're not going to edit the swears. This is for the kids. For the kids.
Let's go.
I cannot tell you how fucking excited I am for this one. These guys are the dopest to ever do it. You've seen them walking around the streets. They tour everywhere. They are WCMA nominated. They have got a record out right now called Tribute to the Groove, available everywhere. We just performed a song with jingnjoc off of that record in the studio today. Ladies and gentlemen, the baddest brass band to ever do it, Brasstactics in the building.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey.
Yeah.
RJ.
How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen.
How you boys doing?
We're good. We're
Good?
grand. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Wow, you guys dropped some sick verses on there.
I appreciate it, man. We had to put it down. We had
Thanks for
to
the
match the energy.
Thanks for the fire. Thanks for the fire.
Thank you for letting us rock on it, man.
Yeah, man.
Listen,
Yeah.
first of all, how do you guys manage your schedule? I mean, it takes Josh and I a long time to figure out our two schedules. Everybody's busy. How are you able to coordinate everybody's schedule to be touring and doing all kinds of crazy shows that you're doing?
It's tough. It's not easy. Everyone looks at me like, yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
When I ask them, they're saying, Matt
Matt does all the work. This is what happens.
No, man, we utilize technology. Google is freaking phenomenal. Google Calendar is the way to go. So I'd love to, if anyone has any, problems with those, reach out to me. I utilize Google Calendar for yeses, nos, maybes, notes, all that kind of stuff. Because when we have 8 musicians, it's like everyone says it's like herding cats. I have cats. It's harder. Yeah.
Give us some insight into, first of all, the 8 musicians. This has been a core group of guys over the years. We've had the opportunity to work together on many different things, perform together, share the stage with you. And there's something to be said about a band that can stay together. And I know there have been a piece or two that have been changed over the years, but for the most part, it's been you guys. So how does that work? How do you guys make it work as a crew?
One word. Money.
Money talks, baby.
Money
You heard it
talks.
here.
Money talks. I mean, like the amount of gigs, the amount of shows that we have keeps us always changing. We have some last minute things that always come up and say, hey, we want you to play this bar mitzvah, but we want you to play Have a Nagila or something like that, right? Or it's just like keeping it fresh. Or we're gonna play. It's not the same thing over and over again. So
Yeah.
it's just keeping it fresh and then keeping us paid. Keeping
Yeah.
it fresh and keeping it paid. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. For any band that needs to stick together, you gotta keep doing it. So it gets to a point where you start gigging. But before that, like if you don't have gigs, a lot of guys are like, oh man, we're just practicing, but we're not actually playing gigs. Playing gigs is the glue that keeps us together. So
Yeah, and I think also for me at least, it's like we really function the band as more of a collective rather than just like a bunch of 8 guys. It's like we're all contributing to like decisions. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And like Matt knows this, like he might be the guy who's kind of spearheading the conversations and stuff, but he checks in with each one of us about decisions or especially the bigger ones that really affect
Massages.
massages, for example.
Daily
Like we
massages.
talked about it and Zach was the guy for today.
for-
He's getting
yeah.
paid right now.
Yeah.
Money,
Yeah.
stacks. But
That's
no,
why he gets paid the big bucks.
that's it, man. But honestly, no. In general, it's just Matt checking in with everybody. Is really the key. I think
we have a group chat too.
Yeah.
So
many,
we have a
many.
couple group chats. There's one group chat that's like, let's just pile on and have fun.
Yeah.
But there's also a group chat
business
that's like,
one?
yeah,
One
that's
that's
like,
more-
okay, what do we
more
need?
appropriate?
What do we need? What do we need to do? Where do we need to be? All that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
first and foremost, I love these guys and I hope that these guys love each other and I hope they love me. But also we get shit done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you can get that vibe. I get that vibe from you guys, at least, that each person is their own creative entity, but it doesn't ever feel like anybody is stepping on anybody's toes. Like you're all doing something different. You all bring a unique creativity to the band. You're kind of spearheading. I like the way that you frame that, the conversations with me in terms of like, hey, dude, I've got this booking. Can you guys do it for this? This is the length of time. Sure, let me see if who's available. But every time I've been in a room with you, like there's never like this band bickering of like, wah, 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 wah. Like you're here to rock it. I love that about you guys.
Yeah, the guys. I mean, like we all get along. When we go out to a gig out of town or whatever, when we travel, there's time for us to hang out. And you could have that time to go hang out and do something on your own. You could go out and just, I'm going to go walk the streets or whatever. But like we consciously be like, where are we all going to hang out?
That's dope.
We're in Vancouver. Let's all like go play some beach volleyball and stuff like that, right?
That's dope.
So yeah. Nick's always up for some beach volleyball, by the way.
Yeah. Well, it makes a difference when you like each other, right? Let's face it, not all bands are like that. You know, you get a couple guys or a guy and a girl. It's not, the chemistry isn't always there. And I think that's a big part of, correct me if I'm wrong, the reason why you guys still stay together and play together, because you can hang together and spend that amount of time. For some of the other musicians and bands out there, what is the secret? What are the hot tips from going from 0 gigs to being booked the way that you guys are being booked?
There's a fine balance between the fun band word of exposure and then also getting paid what you're worth and your value is. There's a very fine line between that, right? And so I think it changes. It's hard to give out advice for any band because we're not just any band. We're a brass band. We're different, right?
Yeah.
We're not the same. But I mean, we hustled at the beginning and we worked freaking hard. When we first went out, we did 14 gigs. So we put it out there. We're like, hey, guess what? We're going to do a brass blitz. So one day, $100, we can come to your place. And the nice thing about us is we can go in, we can get out of our cars, we can strap our horns on, start playing ourselves into, say, a backyard barbecue.
Yes.
Play for 15 minutes and then play ourselves out. There's no awkward like, oh, that was great, that was awesome, you know, have
Right.
some chips. No, we're in and out. And so we're like, let's just book as many of these as possible. We did 14 that day.
That's crazy.
That first day we did 14 at $100 each divided by 8 guys. It's not a lot from working from 8 a.m. till 12 at night.
No.
But that really got us out there being like, man, this brass band is hitting the streets. They're doing everything. They're playing backyards. They're playing, you know, businesses. They're doing this and that. And so, you know, there is that exposure versus getting paid.
Right.
And I think putting in that hustle, putting in that work ahead of time does actually pay off if you're doing the right things and you're valid. You're doing the work and you're good at what you do. You know,
Totally.
it's going to come around, but you know, there is that hard work at first, right? It's like the first one's free.
Yeah, that was actually, we did those for $50 each.
Correction.
Right.
So that was $700.
But
So everyone owed $50, but no.
the pizza bill was a little larger than what we took in that day.
Yeah.
But we also, those turned into the next gig and the next
Yeah.
gig and the
Yes.
next gig,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Like out of those 14, we booked 8 more shows after that.
Yeah.
So it's the
played
hustle.
we played like a
100%.
backyard, but then there's neighbors on each side that are
Yeah.
like, hey, I heard you. I want you at this. You know what I
Totally.
mean? So it was just like, just steamrolling it and going into the next stuff. And
It's
then
tough to miss.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
tough to miss.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
It was a really great idea at the beginning.
Yeah.
Which then led to, then we got hit with COVID.
Yeah.
Sorry, the world did, right?
Yeah.
And so that was before that, right? So our name's out there. And at a time, there was nobody able to play music. There was no inside stuff like
Yeah.
that. And all of a sudden, the regulations dropped a little bit. And they're like, oh, you can play outside. You can play socially distanced.
Which is perfect for you guys.
Right. I
Yeah.
just saw this band playing outside of my backyard.
Unreal.
And as sad as it is, a lot of bands did not make it through COVID.
Yeah.
And like it didn't help them at all. They couldn't. There was, you know, they needed power, they needed a venue, they needed all those things, but we didn't need those things. And I hate to boast and brag about it, but we thrived in COVID. Like
Yeah.
we did so many shows outside and we saw that it was lifting people's spirits. They needed it. They
Yeah.
wanted it. And they were so happy that we were doing it. So, I mean, we provided something that not a lot of other people could have provided. And we were happy to do it. And it was just, I mean, after that, it was like, let's go. And then the restrictions lifted completely. And it was like, okay, now it's full on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I love that you say that too, because it is tough to sort of talk about how you're thriving through COVID when other bands are not making it, businesses are not making it. We felt a little bit of that the same way because after when people realized like, holy fuck, this is actually happening, a lot of businesses settled into it, and the only way they could reach their audience was through video production. So I sort
yeah.
of felt the
Yep.
same way. I had some of my busiest, 12 to 18 months in a time where you couldn't do anything. And this was the only way that companies could talk to their audience. But we also were prepared for that. We prepared ourselves for that. So you guys got to give yourselves credit. I mean, it's a little bit of give and take. Yes, you made it through and you have some creative advantages, some uniqueness to what you do. But if you didn't do those $50 gigs and people knew who the F you were, that stuff doesn't just happen magically. You know what I mean? You put yourselves in a position. So I'm proud of you guys for that, because you deserve that. And I want to get back to, like, you know, your creativity and the uniqueness of what you do, because you touched on it a little bit. Some of these bands coming in, they need a sound check. They need Bram's missing a sound check right now. You need a sound check. You need power. You need all of these things where, and that's, let's say you're doing, you know, a $400 gig with a singer and a guitar, right? There's only so much sound and bigness, largeness you can create with a performance like that. You guys don't need any of that. And you're like a full-on fucking subwoofer, you know, times 8.
On the move.
On the move.
move.
You can walk around. You're
Down
on
the
the
street.
fly. You can
We can get
march
kicked
down the
out.
street.
That was a big thing too.
Yeah.
We actually played downtown. We were practicing for a gig we played inside for. And we ended up playing on the stage outside just to practice. We're like, hey, let's just rip a few tunes before we actually like play.
Right.
And we started playing and people started gathering. And then the security guards were like, you guys can't play here.
Yeah.
Like, and somebody was filming it and they were like, you guys can't play here. We just like stepped off stage and just kept playing down the street.
Yeah.
And so it was like local brass band gets kicked off, you know, stage, but they keep playing on.
Great
right?
promo.
Great promo.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little bit, you know, it's nice to have a little controversy.
Yeah.
And it definitely helped us too.
Yeah. What's one of the craziest tour or shows? I mean, that's a good one. Are there some kind of behind the scenes things that have happened that is okay to share on this kid-friendly podcast? You knew to hand it back.
I've always been a fan of there's a golf tournament that we did.
Yeah.
And they did like a little raffle. At the end of this tournament, they got everybody to sign their names on these golf balls, and they put them in a golf bucket, and they put them in a helicopter, and the helicopter went above the last hole, and they just dumped out the bucket. And whoever's ball was closest to the hole won the raffle.
That's crazy.
I'm like,
So we're playing while all these balls are flying.
It's like
there's a helicopter overhead.
it was like an action movie, like an 80s action movie. There's a helicopter behind us as we're playing.
Right.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah. And like what other band can be on the golf course without power playing that, right? Like who do you call for a gig like that?
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
I mean, like I always say, we play bus stops, rooftops, sidewalks, and you know whatever. So we're fashioned to do anything. I mean, we've done Indian weddings, where the groom is decked out to the nines, riding a horse. There's smoke bombs going off. People are shoving dollar bills in your pocket. We're playing, and they like specifically, like Zach's not fashioning the mohawk right now, but they're like, hey, we want the guy with the mohawk.
Disappointed for that a little bit. Not gonna lie.
One of my favorites was playing on 104th Street this winter. It was -10, I think. Was it -15?
Yeah.
We could play maybe 3 songs at a time, and then our instruments froze up, so they wouldn't move and work anymore. Like the slides wouldn't move on the trombone.
Yeah, spits getting frozen inside of them.
My saxophone keys. My saxophone started getting sharper and sharper and stopped working entirely by the end of the 3rd tune. So then we went inside and warmed up for 25 minutes, and then came out and played another few tunes.
Back at
then
it.
Our last set, we held our instruments. Like we took solos, and then the person not playing during the solo held their instrument over a fire, and warmed it a bit, so it worked. That was so fun. It was awesome.
And that's like the blessing and the curse of what we do. So the blessing is, these guys can play anywhere, anytime, in any weather.
Yeah.
But it's also the curse because there's not a lot of bands that are like, hey, we need you to play outside in the freezing cold. So guess who gets asked to play outside in the freezing cold?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like a little half and half of like, yeah, we can do anything, but also like, oh man, we're getting asked to play this show in -20-degree temperature.
We talked about sort of the creative strengths that everyone brings to the group. What are the unique skill sets that each of you might have that other people might not know about?
I can talk about each guy and how much they bring to this group, but I mean, like each guy, I think they know their strengths and weaknesses and everything like that. Like, I mean, we can just go around the room right now and introduce yourself and say what you play. And but I mean, like Dan's a killer musician. I mean, he's got an ear of gold. Depish has got probably the best, ready to do anything, get in there, get dirty, and he's a fantastic player. Nick is our
second best hair too.
Second best hair.
Sorry, Nick, not you.
Nick is a aspiring school teacher, and it comes out in his playing.
Aspiring, he's killing.
He
it.
is a teacher. Yeah, sorry. Aspiring to be the best school teacher.
I feel like I've talked about it enough with the band to know that everybody knows I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm in there. I'm in there.
Nick is the one that's getting the kids out and interacting, and he's getting kids out dancing with us, and the interactiveness that he portrays is incredible.
Yeah, dope on the mic, dope hype man as well.
Yeah, hype man extraordinaire. Zach is this unorthodox style of playing that you've probably no, but it's so awesome because we have two trumpet players and Liam's killer on the trumpet, and you would think that both trumpet players you would get the same. You get two different trumpet styles out of each guy.
Yeah.
And this guy and Zach writes so much music for us.
Dope.
It's so crazy. So a lot of the tracks that you hear are Zach, especially if it's a cover.
Really?
This is Zach's behind the
Arrangement and everything,
Yeah, killer.
Dope.
Liam Shearer is just a fantastic. He's just out of Grant McEwen, and he's probably. I mean, it's hard to find trumpet players in town, and this guy, he just does it naturally. And Liam just has a talent for everything. Anything he touches, I mean, the guy's good at whatever he does. It's
Zach's
actually
touching him right
Yeah.
now. But
He's also the baby of the band.
Yeah,
he's our
yeah.
baby
Fresh
boy
out of
over
school.
here.
Fresh
Yeah,
out of
sounds
school.
like it.
We scooped him up as soon as we could.
Yeah.
You know.
And then he starts to get into we've got our influences.
We corrupt him a little bit. And then it's like, oh, wait, what is happening right
He
now?
was so quiet and soft spoken.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're learning a lot on tour, aren't you?
Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
Bram Bam.
What kind of
And his
cookies did you make him eat?
We'll tell you when you're older.
His girlfriend brings the best snacks and stuff like that
Yes.
too. Bram Bam is our bass drum, but he also figuratively holds it down. He's so multi-instrumentally talented and bringing his voice of reason to the band and saying, I'm a musician. He's probably the best musician in the group. And he's the guy that's like, this is gonna sound good. This might not sound good. He knows where it's at.
He looks like the voice of reason. If I were to look at all of you guys, I'd say this man looks very reasonable. Yeah. What are you trying to say? He looks respectable. Yeah.
Blair Wilkie, Silky Wilkie.
Silky Wilkie.
This is my right-hand man.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
guy,
what else can you say?
What else can you say? He brings some sex appeal to the group. and he's the workhorse. He's the guy that's behind the scenes getting all the stuff done, all the equipment that needs to get done, worked on, all that kind of stuff. He's the drummer. He's the bam bam, extraordinaire snare player, social media. He brings all that stuff. And then I just have nice shoes. That's it. So that's it. Yeah. But
you really do have something nice to say about all of us. You're like, I'll let them tell it themselves. But while I'm at it, let me just do it anyway for them. It's great.
Well, I have something nice to say about you. Every time that I deal with any of you guys, I agree with all of that stuff. But Matt especially, just because I'm in contact with you the most, super professional, super talented at what you do. Talk about holding it down. Like, you're one of the guys who definitely holds it down. And there's nothing that I can't fucking stand more than an unreplied text or email for like 3 to 5 days. Like, how disrespectful of my time can you be?
I'm sorry.
And you're just, you're on
Jeez,
it.
we're on air. Like,
You're so fast with it, man. Like, I really do respect and appreciate that. Not only your creative talent, but your business savvy and what you do. You're a big part of putting all of this together. All of you are. And I'm super grateful that we've had a chance to work together on many different things.
yeah, no, it's effortless when the passion is there. When you actually love what you do and you have a vision and you strive to make it as best as possible, it's not hard to do. It's the passion, and I know that I have to kick myself in the butt to get some things done, and I know that we all do. But I know that all these guys are passionate about what they do, and so it makes things easier for all of us. Is like we know that at the end of the day, we love what we do, and we do it well, and it just and the rest
to
comes.
ever do it, baby. Anything else you guys want to add before
Yeah.
we close the show out?
I have one more question. Who is this guy Matt here? I've never seen him before in my entire life. I have no idea. He's been making this up entirely. Everything is a lie. It's all a sham. I've never seen him before.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Brasstactics are in the building. We actually have a song, jingnjoc, called Do 1 2 featuring the Brasstactics.
Yes.
Out, available everywhere. It's called Do 1 2. It's a banger. Bro. And Tribute to the Groove, live on Behind the Sound remix is out, available everywhere right now. Make sure you stream that, you listen to that, as well as the whole record. It is fire. These guys seriously are the dopest to ever do it. Where can we find all of your stuff?
www.thebrasstactics.com.
Let's go.
Tactics, the tactics of the brass, not to be confused with Brastastic, but we're still Brastastic as ever. www.brasstactics, the Brasstactics, and then at the Brasstactics on Instagram. If you want to chat with us, like you can just send a message on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. We'd be happy to hear your whatever you've got, suggestions for new songs for us or whatever. But yeah, we're available. We're here. We'll take your messages. We're out there too.
There
Apple,
you go.
Spotify. All
The
that
baddest
stuff.
to ever do it in the building, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this show, make sure you like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, everywhere you stream, watch videos, and listen to podcasts. We really do appreciate it. I'm glad that we finally were able to coordinate all our schedules and get another banger, bro, together. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. I appreciate you. Let's
love
go,
you, buddy.
baby.
RJ, thank you
Let's
so
go.
much.
Peace.
For you. I know. I'm like sitting here. I'm so sorry, guys.
And we're all out of time.
I just wanted to say one more thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a Zach original. Zach Sebnick original.
Camera's on.
And we're out of time.